Welcome to a short episode of the 716 Sports Entertainment Podcast, brought to you by me, Sean, representing all of us here. We want to say thank you to everyone who helped us hit 50 plus subscribers and helping us continue on our journey to 100 and more. We are so incredibly grateful and just want to make sure that everybody likes, comments, and subscribes because it's huge. You're helping us on this journey, and you guys are what are making it enjoyable as well. But today I'm just going to bring a real quick recap on what happened on the April 22nd episode of NXT as the follow-up to Stand and Deliver on WrestleMania weekend with everything major that happened there. We opened the show with the winners of the pre-show Gauntlet Elimination Tag Team match, Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley, facing Liv and Raquel for the women's tag team belts. Not a super out there match. I mean, pretty much everything I expected out of this type of thing. And with Liv and Raquel having just won the belt back on Monday, honestly not surprised to not see them drop it. One thing I will say, though, I think that Raquel Rodriguez is slowly becoming the MVP of that team. Everything she's been doing in the ring lately has been absolutely incredible. She's been doing such a good job of being exactly where she needs to be and storytelling everything in the ring. So, kind of disappointed though. I did want an NXT win here. It would be nice to see the NXT women representing the tag teams, but I do understand where it came from. So Liv and Raquel with the win here and hold on for the titles for a little while yet. Next up, we had Ricky Saints having a segment with Lexis King in the ring. Got a little bit of a payoff to Penn and Teller making the Heritage Cup disappear on Lexis King and the follow-up to this promo. But it was Lexis King challenging Saints to a match next week in what he said was going to be a Heritage Cup versus North American title match. However, after this next surprise match, we found out that wouldn't be the case. So coming out to face Lexis King was a returning Noam Dar. Looking a little bit rusty in the ring, but he ended up getting the win here and taking back the Heritage Cup that he held for so long before getting injured. Ended up winning with a fake out sort of bullhammer or elbow. Was kind of weird. Definitely looked a little bit off in the ring, but solid match for a comeback. Next up after this, we got a Fallon Henley versus Thea Hale match, where the bigger story I think was the women from Fatal Influence trying to interfere and accidentally costing each other the match. Thea Hale picks up the win. Looks like she's going to be getting a pretty strong push going forward. Following the women's match, we did get a promo between Trick, who's still pissed off about everything going on and not getting his title back, and Obafemi in the ring. The bigger shocker here was saying his name and Joe Hendry appearing to, it looks like, start a program with Obafemi where both of them beat up Trick, threw him out of the ring. And we never really got a payoff to this promo, but it looks like we are going to be getting some sort of match between the two of them, the TNA champ Joe Hendry and the NXT champ Obafemi. Should be good. Hopefully they don't bury Hendry here after his loss to Orton. It would be nice to see him do something on the good side here, especially with me being a huge Joe Hendry fan. I know he's not going to win, but maybe a DQ finish where he doesn't get put down. It would be nice. Then we had a kind of pointless match, but with Javon Evans and Miles Bourne versus Dark State. Dark State with the win. Javon Evans doing his typical, looking incredible in the ring. Miles Bourne took the pin. Don't really understand the point of this match. I think that more or less it was just to keep Dark State relevant in people's minds, but nothing burger as far as this one goes. We did get throughout this show a couple of little segments about the D'Angelo family and what seems to be going on here. I am a big fan of how cinematic they are. The first one was Luca meeting Stax out in the middle of the desert, had kind of a abrupt ending, so we don't know what exactly was going on there. And then the second segment was Tony meeting Rizzo in a hotel room and basically telling her that she needed to go into hiding to protect herself. Really playing up the mob movie aspect of all this. Honest opinion, I think this is going to be some sort of like trick play where this is being done to like throw off Dark State, and they're going to come back to that and end up being the team to take out the team of Dark State. As much as I like the cinematic storytelling side of it, I don't know that I'm a fan of them breaking up the D'Angelo family, even as a fake out, if that's what it ends up being. I guess we got to see where that goes. We next saw Lexis King backstage jumping Ricky Saints as he was talking about Ethan Page to, looks like, get a little bit of a heads up or a head start for their match next week. I can't see Lexis King winning. I think that Saints will obviously win relatively easily there, unless this is a chance to put him up on the main roster with a rocket nice and quick. We had a little backstage vignette of somebody walking into a classroom, and it turned out to be Andre Chase, bringing back the Chase University, and can't say that I'm not excited. I was a big fan of that group, and real excited to see where they go going forward. If they do a similar thing as the first time with Chase U, where they used it to showcase younger stars. So we'll see where that particular vignette and that storyline goes. But all of this was leading to our main event, which was Stephanie Vaquer versus Roxanne Perez for the NXT Women's title. Pretty good match. I mean, to be expected with women of the caliber of Stephanie Vaquer and Roxanne Perez. I think that this was potentially the sending off of Roxanne Perez to the main roster, especially after her segment on Monday where she attacked Io and Julia attacked Stephanie. I think that this might finally be the point where, as we've talked about on some of our previous shows, they make up their mind on what to do with Roxanne Perez. So even though she lost, they looked damn good in the ring, and obviously we all know that Roxanne Perez is main roster ready. They just need to pull the trigger on that one. So Stephanie Vaquer ended up winning and retaining her title. Not really a surprise there. And they did show both Julia and Jordynne Grace in the audience as potential challengers. I don't know. All I know is I don't want another multi-woman match as the next defense. I would like to just see a one-on-one match between Stephanie Vaquer and either Jordynne Grace or Julia. We know at the end of the day that they're building up to Julia and Vaquer, with Julia winning it back most likely. But overall, pretty evenly done episode of NXT to follow the Big Stand and Deliver event. But I don't know. I am more excited to see what's going to be coming, and I really do hope that this is our chance to see Roxanne finally make that move. Yeah, so anybody who did tune into this, I appreciate you watching. Just make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That way you can see everything we have coming up, especially now that starting today, we're going to be having more than just wrestling coverage. You guys will get the first opportunity to see our football coverage, beginning with our Buffalo Bills draft episode that we're going to have later. And I wanted to take the time to thank everybody for viewing on behalf of all of us at the 716 Sports Entertainment Podcast. Thank you, and keep on watching.